oriented opening to the panel discussion. I now invite Mr. Tejasvi Rama to build in some pointers for what he looks for or what he has experienced in his career while recruiting somebody. What are those competencies or values that you look for when you are recruiting somebody or while you are making a recruiting decision for the company?
Morning, guys. At first, congratulations on choosing Nalsar. I think it's a great place. I've been coming here for the last 2 years. I've seen phenomenal progress in the last 2 years. And you have a very dynamic center head, Pinaki. Pinaki actually met me at a MBA conference of some other business school, maybe about 2 years back or so. And then since then, he has been, consistent in pushing me to hire/intern from Nalsar. And I was at Ernst & Young, and let me tell you, EY is one of the big four companies, and obviously, we have a lot of structures in place. So we have only a pre-list schools from where we can recruit or take internships. But Pinaki has been so consistent that, he actually, probably I'll probably refer to what Mr. Praveen was saying some time back, network without an agenda. That's what he precisely did with me in the initial days. So I thought, okay, fine, there is no agenda, but then agenda comes up later, that's fine. But then since he networked with me without an agenda, I fell for him, obviously. We had to make an exception, and I told him maybe I'll take one intern, and then we ended up taking 4 interns. And let me tell you, it's not only me, the entire system of EY is very happy with the students from Nalsar. And we ended up hiring one, which is an exceptional thing for EY to do. We went out of the school list that we have. We hired one, and one more good news for Pinaki. We will probably hire one more. One of your students is in touch with me. So I think we are, I'm still, living EY, though all I moved down to Times of India. But anyways, I just wanted to share that small story with you before I start off. So coming to Satyen Pandey's question on, what as a corporate recruiter I would look for in students, especially MBA students, I will probably have a view which is a bit radical, which is a bit insightful, and which is more futuristic kind of a thing, because I think the times are changing rapidly. And the pace at which times are changing, you have to really keep pace with that, else you're going to fall down. Let's look at the scenario of this Flipkart, dishonoring recruitment of IIM Ahmedabad students or just pushing it for 6 months. We're seeing it. Last year was a phase, when the dot-coms was full of awe and admiration from the MBA students, and all of a sudden they're pushing it by 6 months. So one has to be in such a mode that you have to gauge the opportunities galore from an insightful view. As in, in future, in 6 months from now, what's going to happen? In about a year from now, what's going to happen? In about 2 years from now, what's going to happen? Accordingly, make your right steps. Accordingly, make the right choices in terms of what companies you want to target, what companies you want to kind of go ahead and entice them. So that's a thought, the initial thought I'll actually feed onto your mind. So moving on from there, as a corporate recruiter, obviously, I have a lot of demands. I have a small position, 1 or 2, but still I would have a lot of demands. Because how do I say? I think, if you look at the choices these days, if you want to buy, let us say, a mobile phone, how many choices you have compared to 4 years back? You have number of choices, right? Numerous choices. You have every day a new brand which is getting launched in the market or something else which is keeping on coming up. So the same thing is happening even in the business school world. A lot of commoditization has taken place. A lot of commoditization. No more are the days, where people would only aspire for IIMs. There are a lot of other B schools like ISB or Great Lakes or even Nalsar for that matter, a lot of people are coming up. So there's cutthroat competition up there. So in such a scenario, basically what's important for me is that as a recruiter, I am almost convinced that most of you will carry more or less equal skill sets in terms of education or the contribution that you're going to bring to the table in terms of intellect levels. So I would go on with the normal premise that most of you fall in the mean and the medium line. So for me, that doesn't attract. You're getting the point? So I'm not going to be attracted towards your CV in terms of where you have studied or what you have studied. That's not going to attract me at all. So your only opportunity to make an impression is through a set of personal skills that you nurture in the next 2 years. So your personal skills start right from your body language, right from the way you dress, right from the way you carry yourself, right from the way you actually give a handshake, your confidence levels, and all these things. Now, I just recall, we all subconsciously kind of try to feed some things into our mind, right from the body language. So one of my friends was sitting in the car, and he sits in the rear seat, so he sits like this. And that's a Ford Endeavour car, okay? When I sit in the car, I sit like this. Now the body posture per se is conveying an impression subconsciously to the other person. The other person may not have been even educated at all, but still it's subconsciously we all retain the abilities to read this posture as something which is a bit reserved, and this posture as somebody who's open to talk to. So these are some of the things that you need to bear in mind. But having said that, obviously I just talked about these are all very subtle small skills, but as a corporate recruiter, what do I look in for? Quickly, to assimilate that, I'll probably touch upon social styles. The first thing that you need to be double sure is whenever you're going to a recruiter, you have to be double sure whether you're going there for a job or for a career. Be clear about it. 99% of the MBA students mistake job for career and vice versa. Now you go to a recruiter like HDFC or ICICI Bank who are recruiting in mass numbers, and they really need people up there who are hardworking and who can spend lots of hours on the job. You go to them and you start telling them, oh, I'm innovative in mind, I can think innovatively. Oh shit man, it's a complete turn off for me. I don't want an innovative guy. I want a guy who can actually work for me on the job. So you should not talk something that is disconnected from the person, okay? So you have to understand social styles for that basically. So what's in social style? I think you all can Google up. I think I would highly recommend that you go tonight itself and just see. There's ample information available on the net these days. Abundance of information. Everything is there basically. There are 4 different types of social styles. You need to really handle these kind of personalities. One is a driving style. A driving style is a person who will always tell you what to do. So if you have a driving style kind of a recruiter on the other side who's going to tell you, oh yeah, I know that, yeah, you have to do that, what are you doing? That's the way he's going to talk. So when a person is talking like that, you just don't go to him and start telling stories or about yourself. The focus has to shift automatically from you to him or her. So you have to handle a driving style personality by listening to them carefully. Listening calms them down. Listening gets you on the same page with the driving style guy. Listening assures the driving style guy that you listen to them properly. So driving personality is very important. We find very few driving personalities, but they're very strong personalities to deal with. And they're quick decision makers. That's the advantage with the driving style guy. On the other side, you may have a guy who's very soft, very nice to talk to, who will speak very nicely with you, who is a very amicable guy. But remember, the trap is that since he is amicable, we all tend to get, carried down that, oh, he's an amicable guy, I want to spend more time with him. But he's not a decision maker, just remember that. Amicable guys are the ones who wants to be amicable internally as well. Sweta is very nice. What do you think, my friend? What do you think, my friend? They start consulting 10 people. So your decision making of a recruitment is only going to go long. So don't bet so much on the amicable guys, okay? But be good to them, but don't bet so much on them. And then you've got analytical guys who always love to debate with the analytics around. You just sit in a classroom and then he'll ask you some irrelevant question. Okay, let me ask you, what is the speed of rotation of Earth? Any guesses, anyone? Now these are the kinds of questions MBA students will be asked if you want to go for high-end jobs. Alright, a quick MBA would start deducing, okay, the last summer I think I have been to US. From India to US is about 24,000 kilometers, which is halfway through the globe. So the globe is about 48,000 kilometers totally. And 24 hours in a day. So 48,000 divided by 24 hours is roughly about 2,002 kilometers an hour. 2,000 kilometers, sir? You're deducing something. You're getting the point? How quick you are, these are analytics in deducing things. In one of the interviews I attended in UK, somebody asked me what is the size of the toothpaste market in India. How do you deduce that? Toothpaste market in India, size. You have to think quickly. Okay, 1.27 billion population, of which at least rural is 40%. I remove 60% is urban, which means 60, 70 crores population is there. They use 100 ml will come for roughly about a month, and then you start calculating math and all that stuff. So you have to be that quick. That is all analytics. These things impress. If you are good at that, I think, not all of you are good at analytics. For those of you who are good at analytics, I highly recommend that these 2 years you nurture your skills to get your analytics up the mark there, so that you can really impress people and sway away them with your analytical skills. Now the final style which I'm going to talk about is an expressive style. Expressive style personality is someone who would like to talk a lot, like me. I would love to talk a lot. I want to talk, I want to listen to people. I'm a people guy basically. Now expressive guys are the guys who would love to talk and who would love to listen to as well. So these guys are a step ahead of amicable. They can be a decision maker as well. So you have to impress upon them by listening to them properly and responding to them. Now in a driving style personality, you listen to them only. You don't respond to them. But in expressive style, if you listen properly to them and respond to them properly, then I think they are going to give you your whatever result that you aspire for. They'll be the closest possible to that. So these 4 social styles, I would highly recommend that you go through. This next 2 years is going to be very critical for you. You apply that with your colleagues, with your cohort, with your faculties, understand what their style is, accordingly start dealing with them, then you will get the best of the possible results. And yeah, I think, this one last thing, which I want to tell. I mean, this is not more from the recruitment stuff, but this is from your own personal stuff. Let me advise you. Overall, I've been a reasonably successful guy for my age, my whatever things. But there is one regret in my life that I always have, which I'm personally the kind of a guy who do not have regrets at all. I live my life to the fullest. I just do not have any regrets at all, whatsoever. But there is only one regret that I carry for a lifetime, and that is, I wanted to be the numero uno in studies at least once in a lifetime, which I missed. And I'm telling you, MBA is your last opportunity per se, because it's a master's education. So, life में एक बार मांगता है exceptional excellence in studies. I know, I'm sure most of you have been moderate or average or probably very good also, I don't know. But I think एक बार, life में एक बार वो करके दिखाना चाहिए. साल में एक बार कम से कम you want to top. That's a kind of thing at least I had, so which I couldn't achieve, but I am recommending that you want to try it out at least once. It gives a lot of satisfaction. All the best, guys.